Hello and welcome to Coffee with Craig. It is Monday following Thanksgiving. I trust that all of you had a very festive Turkey Day. I also believe that a good number of you had a very good Black Friday, seeing as how we broke the single-day record for most NICS background checks in a single day. So for those who want to believe that, gun sales are down in the era of Trump, well, this would probably work to disprove that theme. Anyway, moving right along, we're going to talk about a gentleman that most of us are probably familiar with. His name is Piers Morgan. He's a British commentator. Needless to say, he's anti-gun. So, obviously, that when he saw that a church had posted pro-gun signs at all of their entrances, when he found out about this, obviously, Mr. Piers Morgan lost his mind. Now, here's the sign in particular that Mr. Morgan took an issue with. It said, "Welcome to River at Tampa Bay Church. Right of admission reserved. This is private property. Warning, please know that this is not a gun-free zone. We are heavily armed. Any attempt will be dealt with deadly force. Yes, we are a church and we protect our people." So now, this is a sign that was actually in place at a place, once again, called River at Tampa Bay Church. It was actually posted, he saw this on someone's Instagram. All right, that's where he actually first saw it. What was found to be very interesting to me was Mr. Morgan's response to this particular thing. His response was, let's see here, it was, "This is not a sick joke. This is America's response to the recent mass shootings in a church." Now, mind you, these signs had been posted at this church for over a year before the Texas church shooting took place. There had been some renewed interest in what was being reported about it, obviously because of what occurred in the state of Texas. But he didn't just stop there. He went on to share some other interesting comments. He said, "Yes, because everyone packing heat in a church is exactly what the good Lord would want." Well, we had this conversation, didn't we? Didn't we already talk about how the good Lord, how Jesus himself said, let a man, if he doesn't have a sword, let him sell his cloak and go buy one? I do recall that we just had that conversation, but then again, I don't know that Piers Morgan has spent a day in church. But the other thing is, keep in mind that he sees us, those of us on the right wing, those of us who would potentially, go to church, or those of us who believe in conservative values, he sees us as the problem. He believes that we're the ones that are toting the guns and doing all of this stuff, as noted in another comment he made. Where's that one at? Here it is. "So if one member of the congregation was obese, you'd combat that by giving every other member a Big Mac." See, that's the thing. So first of all, he believes that, the guy who went in the church with the gun, he was one of them. Just like he probably believed that Dylan Roof was a black person that went into to North Carolina church. Oh, no, wait, he wasn't black. He wasn't even a believer. He wasn't even a Christian. I don't know. I'm trying to get where he says, if one member. See, what he's pointing to here is this, is he believes that we're the ones that are perpetrating the gun crime, right? He doesn't recognize that, so many of these people are gang members. So many of these people are involved in the drug trade. The people who are conducting some of these mass shootings, especially lately, have definitely not been of the conservative ilk. They've tended to be more, how shall we say, of the terrorist ilk, or the terrorist left ilk. But he doesn't want to acknowledge all of that. To him, we're all the same. Everybody who owns a firearm, or everybody who wants to own a firearm, we're all the same. We're the ones that are the problem, not the people who are, not the people who are actually committing the violence, or the people who are trying to disarm people who simply want to defend themselves. Look, I believe that this church's policy is just good business. First and foremost, anybody who reads that knows that this is not going to be a place full of victims. So if your goal as a terrorist, or in instituting a terrorist act, or in instituting an act of violence, is to get as many victims as you can, well, guess what? This church is letting you know that they will not be victimized, that they are not a bunch of victims, that they are prepared to defend themselves and their fellow congregants. Thus, any individual that's looking to do that is probably going to try and find someplace else. More than likely, a church that says, well, no, we don't want any firearms here because, well, hey, we don't believe that guns should be in church. Because obviously someone seeking to inflict terror and violence is going to pay attention to a sign that says no guns here. No, the people who are going to pay attention to those signs are the honorable people there at the church who want to abide by the church's rules, and they're going to say, you know what, I will honor that, and I will not bring my firearm in. And guess what they're going to wind up doing? They're going to wind up making themselves potential victims. And all this church is saying is, yeah, no, we're not going to be victims to your violence. We're not going to facilitate your terror. I, for one, applaud it. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and share these videos and share our Facebook page, facebook.com/gun policy, with everyone you know, and let them know that this is the home of the fight for civil rights.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.